Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Williamson.
And I'm Mr. Wood, and we're here to show you just a couple troubleshooting tips on SmartMusic. So the first one being, I forgot my SmartMusic password, can you reset it for me? Unfortunately, this isn't like Charms where we're able to go in and do that. You'll have to do it through SmartMusic's system. There's a forgot password item at the bottom of the login screen. The next thing that we have questions about sometimes is that when I go to SmartMusic and I try to log in, I just have a white screen, and that can be for several different reasons. One, if you're trying to access it on a mobile device, unfortunately it does not work unless it's an iPad. The second being that either your browser is too small like this, or even if it's the correct size, sometimes you get an issue where you've accidentally zoomed in. So what you can do is you can go to Chrome settings, check your zoom percentage, and you want to make sure that that's back at 100%. We highly recommend the use of headphones when recording on SmartMusic so that you have that audible beat in your ear. There are a couple things that we have to talk about though. First, when you test your microphone, anytime that you record, there's going to be a screen like this. You have to make sure that those headphones are not either paired or plugged in, because it's going to do a little test sound like this to make sure that your speakers are working correctly. After that is done, after that's done, you can pair or plug in your headphones and it should work fine. From what we've been told, that AirPods are having a little bit of issues with a delay. So if you have an option to hardwire a headset or headphones into your computer, that would be our recommendation.
Awesome. The next thing that I'm going to talk about for you guys is proper microphone placement. Whenever you are playing in SmartMusic, the best thing for you to do is to not play directly into the microphone. Make sure that you're giving some distance between you and the microphone, especially if you are a bell front brass player, trombones and trumpets. Most other instruments would be fine, but giving more space between you and the microphone is definitely ideal. If you want to know exactly what SmartMusic is hearing whenever you're playing, you can come into SmartMusic and you can click on this record/blue play button here. And this will allow for you to play everything back and to hear what it sounds like. I'm going to play it back for you. For the first 8 bars, I played further away from the mic, and then wherever it says forte in measure 9, that is where I got really close and directional with the mic, and you can kind of hear the difference. So here we go. Well, if I click in the right place. Well, this is awful. There we go. Okay, that's enough of that. So I'm sure many of you have heard that sound before, and that is when you're playing too close to the microphone. So if you're on your school laptop, make sure that you're pointing away from that as well. Some of you may have ordered an external microphone for your computer, and you need to make sure that SmartMusic and your computer is actually picking up the correct microphone. So in Chrome, what you can do is if you come up to your 3 dots again, and you go down to the settings here, what you're going to do is once this loads, you're going to come up to the top and you're going to be able to type in the settings, the search settings, and you can type in site settings. And it's going to come up with this one right here with the little sliders. And when you click this, it's going to take you to a section where if you scroll down, you're going to see permissions followed by microphone. You're going to click on microphone, and here is a drop-down menu. This is where you're going to select your microphone. You can see I have tons of microphones hooked up to my computer, but you need to make sure the one that you have that you're wanting SmartMusic to use is selected at this point. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your settings on a district computer. So if I were to come into my district computer, you want to come down to the search bar and you want to type in audio, and it's going to pop up with this manage audio devices. So you're going to click on this. Then you want to go to the recording tab at the top. From there, you're going to see the microphones that you have plugged in and which one it's currently using. So here, if you were to click on the microphone, you can then go down to Properties in the bottom right-hand corner. From there, you want to click on the Levels tab at the top. Now here you can see that my normal microphone volume is turned up to 100%, And down at the bottom, I have a boost of 12 decibels. If you hear that your microphone, when you play back in SmartMusic, is too loud, adjust these volumes. I would first turn down the boost, and then I would turn down the standard volume. If it's too soft, you may want to turn up the boost a little bit or turn up the microphone. Typically, you don't want these turned all the way up. This is going to be overkill for any instrument. So just make sure that they're kind of in the middle. Again, mine's at 100% and then 12 decibels. Back to Mr. Wood.
All right, so once you're in SmartMusic and you've gotten all those issues taken care of, there's a couple other that you might come across. The first one being that you may not be able to submit your assignment and you get a red exclamation point on the record. What that means is that some sort of setting has changed from what we assigned to you, whether that's turning on my part, you've turned off the metronome, things like that. And when you try to record, it will give you a message saying that you're not qualified to submit this. If you're unsure what was changed, you can hit reset to assigned settings and continue recording, and then it will let you continue to record. Now, occasionally during the recording process, there's several different things that can happen. It could freeze, you could not hear a metronome, things like that. If that's the case, SmartMusic highly recommends that you clear your browser cache. The way to do that on Chrome is to go into More, and then going into Tools and choosing Clear Browsing Data. If you would like to keep history and things like that, there is an advanced tab where you can select certain things that you're going to erase. But that is, to my knowledge, the only way to kind of alleviate these issues. If it continues, my best advice is to try a different device. Mr. Williamson?
Awesome. So the next thing we're going to talk about is some of you may have been given some rhythm assignments, and some of your assignments may be for your actual instrument. And so what you need to do is when you test your microphone at the very beginning, you need to make sure that right here you're selecting the correct option. Melodic through microphone is any instrument of any kind, from marimba all the way to flute, tuba, any of them. The percussive through microphone needs to be selected if you're doing a rhythm clapping assignment. This allows for the microphone and SmartMusic to know exactly what it is that it's listening for. Next is a little trick that we found that helps a lot of students. Sometimes whenever you come in to SmartMusic and you start recording, whenever you hit the record button, what happens is it starts assessing you as you play. So you can see here the metronome is going, and I currently have it turned off, okay, and you don't see any assessment. And the way to fix that is if you climb up to assessment, you can click this show assessment, okay, and you say I didn't play anything, so it counted everything wrong. So this is a cool tool for you. If you get confused by seeing the red and the green go along and you want that to just go away and so you can just see the music on the screen, please come into assessment and click this show assessment, turn it off, and then do it again. Next, sometimes you will see that if you were to play the song back, or you were even able to listen back to yourself playing by clicking the blue and red record button, wherever you hit stop, if you were then to hit the record button again, it's going to start recording from where you stopped. So if I were to hit the play button here, and then it's going to play back the song for me, you'll see that my measure highlight just kind of goes along the song here. If I were to hit pause, and then I were to hit the record button, it's actually going to start recording me from measure 5 where I stopped it. And then it's going to pick up and go from there. So you want to make sure that before you hit record, if you've ever hit the play button or the blue playback button, that you want to click and measure 1 and then hit the record button. Sometimes directors allow for the highlight measure to not appear. And we're doing that a lot with our rhythm assignments. And that feature is here with the highlight measure. Notice for this assignment, it is required to be turned on. That's why when it's on, I have a nice clear record button, but if I turn it off, I get the exclamation point again, which is what Mr. Wood talked about earlier. So, but if you're in an assignment that requires it to be turned off, you can always click on the display tab at the top and then turn it on for the time being to see exactly which measure is selected in your assignment. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the My Takes. Some of you may think that if you're in SmartMusic and you were to close the browser and open it back up, that all of the takes that you tried previously are saved. That is not true. Some of you may also, like everyone in the world, may think that the save button allows for them to be saved, but it doesn't. This save button actually should say download. All it does is it downloads your recording to your computer. So the save button actually does nothing for you at all. You can't re-upload it. You can't do anything. So please make sure that you submit an assignment while you are still in SmartMusic and before you close everything out. Awesome, guys. I hope this was helpful. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your band directors. We are always here to help. But hopefully this covers the majority of things. All right. Bye, guys.
Happy practicing.